This is episode 4 of the series. The video footage didn't come out good. Sometimes it's so choppy that it's confusing to watch, and other times it's real smooth and beautiful like this. It's kind of in and out. You know, my last video, it was a bit of a problem, and somebody in the comments mentioned it and gave me some excellent advice for how to fix that, and I didn't make it a priority, and this is the result. I have some new software now that seems to be really high quality for recording, so in the future my videos should look much better. Episode 4. So in the last episode we added Atmos suits and we got plastic. I'm pretty excited to start making some steel and go to space and get my shovel farm and all kinds of things, but you know, my base has a problem right now. I am having a hard time producing enough power. I think the reason for that is all the exploring that I've done and everything, I haven't found something like a natural gas geyser. So I've really got to deal with that problem, or else it's going to catch up with me and it's not going to be pretty. Okay, I don't have carbon dioxide problems yet, but I'm kind of expecting that might be a problem. I'm going to make some airflow tiles to go down here to where my slicksters are so carbon dioxide can get down there, and maybe they'll take care of it for me. All right, so I guess first off, some ventilation, and I've got to start thinking about how I'm going to make some more power. The only real power source I have, besides the little bit of coal that I have and the little bit of hydrogen that I'm making, is petroleum. I've never been a fan of using petroleum to generate power, just because it's very messy, and you know, until I have thermium, you have to use a oil refinery to generate the petroleum. I think I'm going to have carbon scrubbers, and I guess I don't care much about the polluted water. We can just let that here in the pit of doom. All right, let's get started and we'll see how this turns out. If I can't solve my power problems in a reasonable way, I can't be doing stuff that uses a lot of power, like making steel. Right now I'm just making ventilation so my slicksters can make use of more carbon dioxide. Just as a temporary measure, I'm going to make a couple more hamster wheels. It may not seem like it, but I actually play the game real lean when it comes to power. I don't use any more than necessary. I don't even have a bathroom. I'm still using a latrine, outhouses and stuff, because I don't want to have to operate the pump. I mean, it could be done with just a water sieve, but you know, all those little things, if you do them all, they add up, and they can get you into trouble. All right, so they'll start working on that ventilation, and I guess I'll start doing some petroleum generator stuff. I'm going to put it down here because it's hot. If I start doing a petroleum generator, I'm going to have to also do some cooling. So cooling and petroleum generator. Of course, once I have a petroleum generator, I ought to have enough power to do the cooling as well. Well, let's put it in and see what happens. I'm going to put it on top of these mesh tiles because how convenient, and there's plenty of places for that polluted water to go. And I'm also going to need some carbon skimmers. Let's see, it produces, what is it, like 500 grams per second of carbon dioxide, and a carbon skimmer does 300 grams per second. So I guess I'll put 2 carbon skimmers down here. Like a minute ago, I was talking about taking advantage of the slicksters to get rid of my carbon dioxide, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to deal with a petroleum generator. I need some proper way of getting rid of that carbon dioxide. Cooling for the petroleum generator, that's going to have to be next on my list, I think, in order to keep my base cool. But I have plastic now, so I can make a steam turbine and do that any way I like. Plus, with the petroleum, I should be able to power that stuff. I changed my mind. I'm going to move this over a little more so that I can make room for a liquid reservoir to hold petroleum. Here, you know, let's do it like this. Alright, so that'll put petroleum in the liquid reservoir. Petroleum generator. Put some petroleum into that. We need carbon skimmers. 2 of those should do. They need water. I'll just tap into my water line here. And they need output for their polluted water. We'll do it this way. The polluted water, that's something I want to use. So I have this polluted water line that goes through my base. I'm going to interrupt that. The output from the carbon skimmers goes straight into that line. And if there's not enough, it gets supplemented by my other line. All right, that's all set up. That was actually pretty painless. You know, I forgot something with my petroleum generator. I also need a battery. Smart battery to turn that thing on and off. I'm just going to connect it together like that. There we go. There's my power situation, and I think that'll be okay as long as stuff doesn't get too hot. I should put in proper cooling for my base. I'm going to make the petroleum generator out of something a little more substantial than aluminum. Let's use the gold amalgam, which is that's pretty much all the gold amalgam I've got. There's a slime biome up here. On that topic, there's a bunch of coal up here also, and I'm going to dig that stuff out because I'm having power problems. Coal is a source of power. Let's see. Here's a bunch. Yeah, I'll just dig all of that out. There we go. All right, time to set up some proper cooling for my base. Okay, I like this spot. I'm going to put it right here. Set it up right here like this. And to make the vacuum, I'm just going to put in, you know what? I need an airlock in order to make a vacuum there. So I guess I'll have to make an airlock first. Let's do it. I'm going to do this kind of airlock. 2, 3, 4, 5, and a wall. Put the steam turbine right here and wrap that in insulation. Wait a minute, what's this all about? Do I need some special skill for building that? Electrical engineering? Okay, let's see who's going to be our electrical engineer. Marie, you like electrical engineering, and ooh, she has enough morale for it. Nisbet doesn't have enough skill points to get on it. Now I have an electrical engineer. Go, Marie. I definitely need a thermal regulator. Oh boy, I just used all my gold. I'm going to go up here and get some gold amalgam. I'm going to take that block out to make this into an airlock. They're going to bed. I guess I could put the plumbing in for the aquatuner. Let's see, I want it to go there and there. I have to run the pipe through this room to keep it cool, and I want to patch into this pipe. Since I'm going to close up this room, I think I'm going to make this part of it out of refined metal. So the polluted water will come down here in this way, through the aquatuner and out. I'll have it go out this way, and I'm going to make that pipe out of granite because this is supposed to be cooling stuff. So my electrolyzer keeps getting overpressure, and I find that strange because seems like it ought to diffuse out of the bottom of this room really easily. Put some water in here. So the sooner I get this airlock, the sooner I can make this a vacuum. You know what? I'm going about this airlock all wrong, and I'm going to start filling up this room with tiles. That way I can make it a vacuum just by undoing the tiles. I'm going to fill some more water in there because it's going to run into the vacuum once I make it and become my steam. Okay, so once I have enough water in here that I'm happy with it, I can dig this out so that it's a vacuum. This is clearly done. All right, I'm going to take out the bottle emptier, put in a tile right there for my airlock. And I don't think I need these 2 tiles. I'm going to get rid of them. And then I can put a bottle emptier on this ledge and, to put water into the steam, the vacuum over here that I'm creating. Great. Now I think if I just dig out those tiles, I'll have a nice little vacuum. I am going to want to put some more water in there. All right, there we go. This is a vacuum, except for the water, of course, because I want the water in there. Something's got to make steam out of something. And it looks like we have about 200 kilograms per tile on the ground. So once it's steam, it'll be about 100 kilograms per tile. And I'll put in a aquatuner, gold amalgam aquatuner. It'd be nice if I had steel, but I just don't have the steel yet. And I guess I can come and fix this later if I need to. I need to get power in there. I'll just use a transformer, of course. I kind of want a transformer to get the power out from the the steam turbine as well. I just need to make sure I get the power lines in there before I close it all up. What am I making that out of? Power. I can make them out of like aluminum or copper. Oh, I guess it's refined metal. So copper it is. I'll put it like that. I'm also going to need a liquid pipe thermosensor to control whether the water is too hot, too cold to go through the aquatuner again. And also I need a little automation for that. I like to put a filter gate on these so that they don't turn on and off really quickly, wasting power. I think that's it. Maybe I should get the water, maybe I should put more steam in here because this is only a gold amalgam aquatuner. Let me think that through. So this has to stay under 175. This will cool down the steam to 125 pretty effectively. This is 50 degrees range. Is that enough? How hard would it be just for me just to put a thermosensor in here? I'm gonna do it. And I mean, what's the harm if I have a thermosensor that I don't need, right? And I'll set both of these together and connect them to a NOT gate. When one of them is on, it turns off the aquatuner. And then I'll just put my filter gate that I like over here. There. Now I can control whether the aquatuner turns on because of the temperature in the room as well. I feel like it might be helpful to have more steam in the room also in order to help control the temperature. I'm over-engineering it now. I really don't think this is necessary, but I don't want to have to crack it open again later, so I'm going to put a bunch more water in there so I can get thicker steam. Oh, dang. I've been filling up this liquid reservoir with petroleum. This whole episode might be me just getting my base up to speed, unfortunately. As much as I want to make steel and go to space, you know. I like to set the filter gate to 10 seconds. Let's make sure the temperature is below, in order to turn on the aquatuner, let's say the temperature needs to be below 150. Oh, there is, actually the margins in there are kind of tight, aren't they, with gold amalgam? Let's say, I'm going to say 140. Well, we want to turn off the aquatuner when the temperature of the water is below 14 degrees, so that'll control that bit. All right, there's enough water in there. I'm going to close this up. Only need a small transformer for that. There we go. That's closed. I can get rid of these now. This guy needs a big transformer. Like that. Alright, let's connect up the pipes. Then we need to make that a cooling loop instead of whatever it is. So we'll have the polluted water come down, and maybe I'll just use the cooling loop for my distribution of polluted water anyhow. So I'll make it a loop though. Make it so that this bridge supplements the loop. This line is a source of polluted water, so I need to make sure that gets supplied from, I'll put it from here, out of the cooling loop. I don't need any of this stuff anymore. There we go. We got that thing yet? Oh, we do. Yeah, it looks like that should be operable now. So we want to turn on the petroleum generator. Let's do it. I want to use the hydrogen and the coal first. So I'm going to put this pretty low, actually. Let's say we will use the petroleum generator to keep this between 25 and 75%. The hamster wheels don't turn on until it's at 20%. We want the hydrogen to turn on first. So that's this battery. 50%, and the coal will be next at 35%. Okay, that's good. Those power problems ought to be fixed. And I've got some cooling in, so even though I'm going to be generating a ton of heat with stuff like this petroleum generator and the oil refinery, it should be okay. Oh, this is an interesting problem. So my carbon skimmers, I made the polluted water thing a loop for cooling, and my carbon skimmers are like trying to feed stuff into that. I want that loop to go continuously. I would like to prioritize the carbon skimmers going into the cooling loop to supplement it before the polluted water from the cool slush geyser goes into the cooling loop to supplement it. That would be ideal, but they're nowhere near each other, and that's kind of hard. Oh, actually no, it's easy. Yeah, okay, it already does that if I just change that into a bridge. Because if there's an empty spot in the loop, it goes past the carbon skimmers before it goes past the cool slush geyser input. Easy enough. So I'll just change this around. I'll destroy that one, put in a bridge, and close that loop. There we go, no sweat. So check it out. The temperature of the polluted water in that cooling loop is like below 14 degrees, and it's moving all the time. So we should have some powerful cooling, and I can just run that pipe wherever I want to go to do some cooling. Okay, well that worked out pretty nice. I have the power and the cooling thing under control. I'm starting to get all these heavy gases in my base. I've got to put something in to scrub them out. I think I'll put a trap down here for that. I mean, it makes sense. It's sort of down at the bottom. So I'll put a floor in. That's an airflow floor, and put some tiles in. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Yeah, that'll be fine. And dig all that out. So the idea is I'll put a gas pump in here with a couple of gas element sensors above it, and when this fills up with something that's not oxygen, to the point that these element sensors no longer detect any oxygen, then I'll turn on the pump. If one of these detects oxygen, then this line will turn green, and I want it to turn off the pump. Do it this way. That's good. I want the carbon dioxide to go in here. I'm going to seal up this room so that it's airtight so that I can fill it with carbon dioxide and it doesn't escape. I've got the gas that will come out of this, and I want to deliver the carbon dioxide into there. I think it might be time to start building a main bus for my gases. The idea is if you have one gas pipe that runs in a loop, then you can put anything in it, and whatever needs it just picks out the stuff that it needs. And then I can pump spare gases from anywhere right into that pipe, and it just goes wherever it needs to be. And it goes in a circle, so it's like a sushi belt main bus pipe. And for a base this size, you only need one pipe. Even for a really big mega base, I think you can get by with only like a sushi belt with 3 pipes wide. I have some videos where I explore that idea, and I've tried it out a little bit in some games now, and I really like it. It's so convenient once you have one. The idea is to make a loop so that, imagine this being a loop that goes all the way up and around, like this, so that it carries all of my gases where they need to go. But I'm not going to do the entire thing right away. I'm just going to build a piece of it down here at the bottom. So this pump, the only thing it's going to do is put the gases that it pumps into the sushi belt. Just like that. When carbon dioxide comes by this room in the sushi belt, I'm going to take just the carbon dioxide out. I'm going to make it go in here so it's easier to filter out the carbon dioxide, and then go up. And I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to finish that just yet. And I want to put it, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That'll leave enough space inside for another pipe when the time comes. When it gets to here, I will take out the carbon dioxide and leave it in here in this room for my my slicksters. And I'll put a high pressure vent in there, and I can put lots of carbon dioxide in that room. Hook up the automation for, wait, I didn't do something right. That is a valve. We want a shutoff. There we go. And that'll filter out just the carbon dioxide in this room. This kind of filter works great for a sushi belt because nothing in the sushi belt ever stops. It just keeps going in a circle. So you don't get those errors that are associated with this kind of filter. This stuff needs power. Food shortage. Ooh, there is a food shortage. What's going on with the food? Pressure. I might have to make a... You know what? I have algae. Don't I have algae? I'm just going to build an algae diffuser. That was an easy fix. I got plenty of power for it now. I'm going to burn up that algae. I'm not using it for anything else. What was I doing? Oh yeah, power. So I got to put in a joint plate here. Secret knowledge. The heavy watt joint plate doesn't carry 20 kilowatts, but the heavy watt conductive joint plate does. I don't think this base is ever going to get up to a 20 kilowatt situation on one cable. I just don't want to have that problem where I'm trying to fix that in the future. This is ridiculous, but I'm going to put in another heavy watt joint plate just for this one shutoff. Yeah. That's right. That's a lot of power hardware for a shutoff, but it's the easy way. That should take care of my carbon dioxide and natural gas. Okay, so we need something else on the sushi belt to take out that natural gas and do something with it. I'm not doing anything special with the natural gas generator. I'm just burning the ambient natural gas. Put the natural gas generator back here so there's room to put my filter in. I'll hook up the power for the natural gas generator. Here's the carbon dioxide thing, and I'll bridge it in from this side so it can go out that vent into my carbon dioxide room. I need a filter to get the natural gas out of the sushi belt. Continue the sushi belt straight up, like so. Put in a gas shutoff there with a gas pipe element sensor. That'll filter out the natural gas, feed that into my natural gas generator. Done. The natural gas generator creates polluted water, but that'll just run off the ladder, run over here and fall down the ladder into the lake of doom. If this happens to pump up anything that's not carbon dioxide and natural gas, I'll have a problem because it'll be in the sushi belt, but it has nowhere to go because the sushi belt isn't completed. So let's just keep working on that. Polluted oxygen is an easy one. Let's take care of that next. There's a gas pipe element sensor and a gas shutoff. Its job is to take out polluted oxygen into here. And I'll put some deodorizers below it. And there, let's do 3. That should take care of polluted oxygen. Enclose that a bit so that the polluted oxygen sits in there with the deodorizers. Last things that I have right now are oxygen and hydrogen. So let's just extend the sushi belt even more. I'm going to go back over here to the ladder. Oxygen. I could just bridge oxygen straight into that pipe. That seems pretty convenient. That won't work because it won't go in while it's blocked by this other stuff. If this pipe is full, then the oxygen won't be able to get in. So I need some kind of reservoir. Maybe I will put in an oxygen reservoir. The right way is to use a reservoir. I'll take the oxygen out of the sushi belt right here and put it in a reservoir, and the reservoir will feed the Atmos suits. And when that's out, then the gas pumps will turn on and get more oxygen. I think that's the right way to do it. To here, and I'll move over a bit so I can filter out that oxygen. So if we put it here, I can fit a gas shutoff right up here and put a gas pipe element sensor there. And we can set that up to filter out the oxygen. The oxygen goes into this. The oxygen comes out here and goes into, it'll have to go over this pipe. I'm going to get it into my Atmos suits. Do it like this. Take that out and put in a bridge. There, think of this as the oxygen from this reservoir is my sort of main supply of oxygen, and then when that's out, the gas pumps supplement it. Okay, what's next? Hydrogen. I already have a reservoir for that. Let's put the sushi belt in right here for now. So we'll put the gas pipe element sensor there, and the gas shutoff facing up, and hook those together. And then this pipe will carry hydrogen, just bridging it right into that pipe. All right, that's all the gases we need to handle in the sushi belt. So now we just have to connect this to the other end. Oh, you know what? I need to get rid of this anyways. So this output, we can just put it right into the sushi belt like that. And then all the stuff that goes into these pumps that I don't want, that's not oxygen, will go into the sushi belt and be distributed to wherever I'm using it. Now this end of the sushi belt has to go down, and a bridge over this. I just have to connect it down to the other end of the sushi belt so that it's a loop. There we go. Now we have any kind of gas distribution system. So all I have to do is just take that carbon dioxide, stick it in the sushi belt. I notice I used an insulated pipe there. That's weird. Didn't mean to. There. And that will just end up wherever it needs to go. My sushi belt loop, directional issues in it. And so I've got stuff trying to go the wrong way. I'll put a bridge in to fix that. Okay, this one is set up for carbon dioxide. This one should be set up for natural gas. There we go. This one, I've got so much polluted oxygen in there. I think I'm going to tell my guys to get on this part. See it coming out? Carbon dioxide bubbles, packets, whatever they are. This I should set to polluted oxygen. Polluted oxygen. Okay, there's my polluted oxygen processing. It just drops it all off in here and turns it into oxygen. We have a food shortage again. So there's a lot of it that's almost done. We don't really have a food shortage. This one is oxygen. There we go. This one is hydrogen. Why aren't they getting this done? Go build that, guys. It's important. I want to start clearing out that carbon dioxide. Barbecue. Well, I did need food. I'm going to dig some of this out just so that I have more ventilation in that direction. Where's all my polluted water? Wait, that's gone? Am I burning through water that fast? All right, how much water am I using? I'm using some polluted water for the reed fiber. I'll just get rid of those. Don't need them. I'll just deconstruct the buildings. There we go. What else am I using water on? I'm not using polluted water for anything else. I'm going to have the electrolyzer that uses 1 kilogram per second. The oil well can use, what is it, like 1 kilogram per second. So I need another source of water. There's water everywhere. Maybe I should start using this lake. All right, I think this will be the last task for this video. And then the next one I can actually focus on making steel and going to space. I'm going to put a pump down here in the bottom of this, and it'll just pump whatever's there. Salt water, polluted water, regular water, I don't care. And on its way up the ladder, I'll have little utilities on the side to process the salt water into regular water and to process... Actually, I'm not going to change the polluted water. I like polluted water. So I only need to process the salt water. Put a pump way down here at the bottom of the lake. And a liquid pipe. Let's not make it out of granite. Going up the ladder until it gets to here. First, I need a filter to take the the salt water out. I'm going to use the fancy kind of filter and a reservoir to store the salt water in case my desalinator doesn't have a chance to get to it right away, because they do that thing where they have to be emptied or something. The liquid valve, and we'll put it right, needs to be right there, like this, and I'll have a couple of bridges going in. That kind of filter, and I'll put a liquid reservoir in to store the salt water temporarily until the desalinator has a chance to get to it. Now I'll put a desalinator over here on the left side of that. Desalinator, there it is. And can I turn it around? Oh, you can, sweet. So that goes in there, and then the output from the desalinator, I actually kind of want to, the thing is, like, I don't want to have a second pipe just for the desalinated water. I just want to put it back into the same pipe. So I've got to wait for an empty spot. And if I'm taking salt water out, then there will be an empty spot to put the desalinated water back in. So it should be okay, but I might have to wait for that spot to come. And I don't want the pipe to fill up while that's happening. So I'm going to put a reservoir there also. I'll put it up over everything. So the desalinated water will go into this reservoir, and then that water will be bridged back into the pipe. There it is. And I'll use all of that to supplement my cooling loop, which right now is where all of my waters come from. Power, put the bridge in. The thing I have to pay attention to is making sure that the filter for the salt water gets primed with just salt water. And I see that there's salt water down here at the bottom where the pump is, so I think, at first anyway, I think it will probably just get salt water. I need to send power down to that pump, but I don't want to connect it yet. So I'll build wires just like that, so it's not connected. Because when I do connect it, I need to keep an eye on what gets pumped through there so I don't mess up that filter. All right, I'm going to speed this up and wait for them to get stuff done. And the next episode, we'll make steel and go to space, because I can't think of anything else I've got to deal with. Oh, sweet, they got the desalinator and everything in. I need to set this this liquid valve to 1 gram per second, because that's how these filters work. Oh, they have the wire done. All right, I'm going to slow this down because this is important to get right. Otherwise, I'll have to fix stuff. That's just great. It started right out with a bunch of polluted water. So here's how to deal with that. I'm going to deconstruct. I'm going to wait for it to come up a bit. I'm going to deconstruct the pipe right here. Go get it, guys. And I'm going to deconstruct the bubbles of polluted water. There, and there, 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 and there. That should be plenty. Then I'll build the pipe back together again. And we should have only salt water should get to that filter first. And then the filter will be primed. Yeah, that's awesome. Look at that. Nothing but salt water. I'm going to deconstruct the pipe up here also. That way if some salt, because until I connect this pipe, some salt water might get through the filter, and I don't want it to go up in everything. 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's primed. Connect that up. That was super painless. I don't need that pipe there anymore. Now all the salt water should get filtered out. Now that I think about it, you know what? So I could have, especially when I dump all of the salt water that I'm expecting to dump in here on my way to space, I might have a full pipe of nothing but salt. Wait, what's going on there? Oh, I've got this stuff going the wrong way. I need to put a bridge in. There we go. All right, now everything is working nicely. The desalinator can only desalinate 5 kilograms at a time, but I might have a full pipe of salt water coming up here all at once there's a lot more salt water in that lake. I mean, I have a reservoir here to handle the overflow, but like eventually, if I dump out all of this salt water up here down into that lake, then I mean, I'm going to have to be able to process a continuous pipe full of salt water. That's not true. I only have to process as much as I actually use in my base, because it's not going to go into this pipe until my base uses it and makes a spot in that pipe. I think I'm safe. I think I want to use the water coming out of the desalinator first. And also, I think the way this is set up, because this pipe isn't going to be continuously consumed, it's going to get backed up. I think eventually this reservoir is likely to fill up and become a blocking issue. Get rid of that building. Actually, let's get rid of all these pipes. redirect my output from the salt from the desalinator this way. That way it uses the water coming out of the desalinator first, and then when that's empty, then whatever else is in this pipe will go up through. What's the deal with this? Oh, I need to set these to oxygen. Now the water gets used first, and everything else waits until the water is out. All right, now that my base is fixed, I'm ready to make some steel and go to space and get my shove voles so I can start the shove vole farm. And as soon as I start making crazy amounts of food with the shove voles, I can have crazy amounts of dupes because I have lots of water. I guess that's episode 4. I'm really motivated. I'll make episode 5 right now.